Damn, man, what the fuck is up, y'all? Got a few topics to talk about. Nothing too crazy. A few different life and man questions. Just getting back into. Got a fucking Karen problem. Let me tell you about this bitch. I'm sitting there playing ball with the kids twice now. This bitch just hasn't said something to me the last two times. One night we played basketball probably around 9:50, 9:40-ish. So to me, in summertime, I feel like 10 o'clock is when everything should be shut down. So as I told her that night, well, we're going to be out there for a little bit longer. I got you. We ain't going to be out there past 10. I mean, work don't sleep for somebody else. I'm not here to sit there and please anybody else too in this world anyway. There's nothing to be rude about, bro. But I have other things that I have to sit there and focus on, and what you worried about in your life has nothing to do with mine, right? So, the second time today, she decides to come over and playing ball. It's still it's lighter than this outside. She asks us if we can shut it down early, like no later than 9. You know what I've told her? Absolutely not. Why would I? Why would I? Why would I do that? That makes no sense. We're out here. We pay everything we need to pay. We're gonna sit there and do what we need to do. And she looks stunned. But at the same time, I can give a shit less. I can give a shit less. And it's nothing to be disrespectful, as I told her. Like, I mean, that has nothing to do with me. She told me to go build a hoop by my house. Yeah, probably not. Probably just use the one that the gentleman told me that I can use and no problem. So we're going to keep it moving with that. And that'll just be the case. That'd be the case, man. That would be the issue there with that one. So that's how that works. But I was sitting here talking to a gentleman earlier while I was at the gym, and he was telling me about his life, just about the shit he was going through just recently, right? Said that he was homeless for about a year. So he's about a homeless for a year. He's a younger gentleman. He said that he was living in a kind of like a shed kind of thing, like a barn kind of slash shed, which I don't understand how he sat there and lived in there without getting caught, but he said he did. So he said he was living in there, and the thing is, while he was living there, this one was a good pop too, some good ass runts. When he was living there, he said he lost his self confidence. He said he felt hopeless, which I understand. And I'm sorry, but as you went through this, brother. He said that he also felt his low libido. He said he was jerking off 4 times a day in the shed while he was homeless, 5 times a day sometimes. And it's just like, and now he's feeling that once he got out of that phase, he felt like he had so much trauma, he didn't know what to do. So he was just wondering if I had anything for him. I mean, we were talking about that, and he was being vulnerable with me at the gym, which is cool. I respect that, brother. I appreciate you doing that. I'm here to listen just like I'm here to talk. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk to you about this shit. That's just what we gonna do. We're a community. So as I told him, I said, brother, just think of that you went through just like a learned experience. You don't want to be that person again. So don't be that person again. And when it comes to your libido, obviously your libido is not that low if you're beating up 4 times a day, 5 times a day. Yeah, your libido is not low. Your drive to go get women and get your confidence level shut down is low. You don't want to go through that phase. You don't want to go through that disappointment, that insecurity. That's what's low. And until you stop being a punk about that, you're not going to sit there and get anywhere with it. You're just not. And I promise you, you can do it. Who cares? Just sit there, sit down, believe in yourself, start to love yourself, and understand that what you went through was just temporary. You're not there no more, brother. That's what I told him. I told him to check in on this later on because I'm going to give you another question, give you another answer. So when it comes to sitting there getting yourself straight, bro, go out, be around people. He sat there and said that he wanted to sit there and start dating and stuff like that. Well, that's all cool, but dating ain't going to sit there and make you happy. I just need you to sit there and just learn to just be around some people right now. And that's going to sit there and start to help you. You need to be in like a group setting. Like a group setting. And then you're going to sit there and feel better and better and better. You're going to feel better and better and better. I mean, that's just what I think. So, Once you sit there and do that, you'll be fine. So, the other questions is, I'm gonna sit there and get into some more. My man was wondering like what to do when your lady lost interest in you. He said he still loves her, but for a year now they have grown apart, and it's just he doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want to lose her. So, I mean, buddy, and the thing is about that one, man. No matter what you can do, no matter what you say, bro, you gotta focus on you. I think that's all our problems is. None of us want to focus on ourselves. Everybody wants to focus on how to keep the lady happy, how to keep, like, bro, these girls is gonna leave. These girls is gonna leave. These girls is gonna leave. So, bro, sit there and stop being such a bitch about it. Just let them leave. I, I mean, what's there to really trip about, bro? You're not sitting there having a lady in your life again, yeah. But that's just oh well. And bro, when it comes to like trying to woo your woman back, if that's what you really want to focus on, how to woo her back, is bro, you gotta sit there and just be nice. Everything is secular, man. So just be nice, be patient, be nice. Don't be forceful, and also don't be on that friend zone. Still sit there and talk to your lady about certain things. Like, yeah, let's do this, let's do this. But if it's over, bro, just sit there and you gotta sit there and just let it go. Yeah, let her go to come back around. Let her go experience. She'll come right back around. Nobody wants to be alone. I've had females from high school contact me. Ex-girlfriends from high school contact me later in life, like because they sitting there just going back to what they know and trying to sit there and experience that. Because maybe they can sit there and just deal with that again. So that's just something you gotta do with that. You gotta sit there and just kind of like distance yourself, and then on top of that, once you distance yourself, she gonna come running right back. She gonna come running right back. She gonna come right back, man. Um, there was another one. Let me sit there and go back to his question. Give me a question. Give me a time. It's actually I was sitting there to ask him. Buddy was sitting there just asking about how to get his libido back. I think you gotta sit there and just test the waters and start getting shut down. And losing your libido is tough, but getting it back, you gotta just sit there and just eat right, sleep right, and take your shots at ladies. That's how you get that libido back. And I'm sorry y'all sit there and sound all melancholy, but I'm tired. And it's late. It really is late. It's just late and I'm tired, but give me a second here. I'm responding back to his question. I'm getting bit up by a mosquito. But anyway, y'all, here we go. I sit there and think, y'all, what he asks is this. And this is like a question that we get pretty consistently. Um, John's father isn't in his life that much, and he's wondering what kind of things that he should have known as a man in his 30s that he hasn't learned yet, or what should he know now? What skills would be useful that he can sit there and do something with? And I think it's pretty simple. I mean, there's a wide range of skills that us men that we need at a certain point in age, and if we don't have those skills, we're gonna sit there and get held back. I think one of the youngest skills that us as men, that our fathers need to teach us, and that we're not being taught, is how to sit there and just talk to people. How to talk to people. And the funny thing is, like, when you get to a certain age, like, as a parent and as a child, you kind of like grow apart. Because now, as life is becoming so real, right? Life is becoming so real. Now, everything that y'all talk about, everything that y'all do, isn't just surface level shit. It ain't just about games and all that other bullshit. It's about real shit. And, bruh, I'll tell you one thing. That shit sit there and, that shit will sit there and ruin the best relationships. Because If you don't know how to sit there and act with your child, then you losing already. So what y'all men got to do when y'all young is teach y'all child how sitting there just learning to talk to people. And if your dad didn't teach you that, then that's one thing you need to learn how to already is how to talk to people, how to communicate, how to sit there and tap in with others. And then especially it's gonna come easier when you talking to ladies. It all comes full circle. So another skill is cooking. If you can't cook, you're sitting there being failed back because you don't always feel like you need to depend on somebody. But if you need to depend on somebody, you got a problem right there. You can't depend on nobody. All right. Another skill is that just determination, ambition. Those two right there. Hard work and never giving up. If your father's not teaching you not to give up, then that's something you gotta sit there and understand. That's a skill that you need as a man is never to give up. Never give up. And the thing is, man, the one thing is about learning how to give it up, determination and all that shit and ambition, it's gonna sit there and kind of fuck up your life in other situations. Like it's harder to give up on people with that shit too. For real. Another one, man, is listening. Learn to look at somebody and communicate with them and listen. Something that's deep. That's what we missing. This connection that we missing with people and shit. Like, don't you feel like that people are less connected? Don't you feel like we don't talk to each other as much? I'm talking to y'all, like, which is cool, but at the same time, y'all not talking back. And it just means that we got to disconnect. Just whoever listening. We got to be on to the point where we talking to people in public and we sitting here mingling with people. I keep telling y'all, take y'all shots at these ladies. I'm telling y'all that. Take y'all shots at these ladies. If you can't sit there and ask the girl, what's her name, once a day, bro, then you sitting there losing. You can do that once a day shit. I lost 100 points yesterday just because I didn't introduce myself. Come on, man. Y'all can do that shit. I don't go fuck if she sit there and ain't into you or not. And just introduce yourself. I think that's something that's deep that we need to be taught is just how to talk. Another one is not to be so sensitive. Regulating our emotions as men. You need to sit there and be taught that it's okay to sit there and be mad, but you gotta sit there and control it. Because that's how you sit there and prevent them lash outs and shit like that. That's for real. That's for real, man. That's for real. Anyway, that was that question. Let's go to a different one. What are some advice that you wish you received about women in your 20s? I wish that the number one advice that I would have received when I was 20 about ladies was that the fact that girls are just girls. They're just they're just little girls who are just in adult bodies. That's really all it is. And if you ever talk to a child like your niece or anything like that, it's very easy. They want to talk nonstop. They want to talk nonstop. That's all they do. So if you learn that, then you will simply just learn to like, bro, I can talk to any lady that I want because that's what they want to do. No matter what. No matter if they're into you, no matter if they're not into you. So you can honestly talk to any lady. Just understand that if you try to talk to them, they will talk to you and understand that they might not always be into you. That's just the truth. Someone else says, don't act like someone you're not when you try to get a girl to like you. There will come a time where you have to drop the act and be yourself to just be happy. If she doesn't like you for who you are, then you simply just aren't compatible. And just be you from the start. And yeah, I've been there. And the thing is, though, I lost a good relationship from that. Because I'm sitting there faking who I was, right? I'm sitting there faking who I was and acting this one way. And the thing is, though, when I sit there and try to sit there and show who I really was, it was just causing issues. Secrets were being held back, all kind of shit. And the thing is, though, the relationship would have never worked because I was sitting there hiding myself and who I really was. But if I would have sat there and just been like that from the jump and either just bid it how it was, take it how it comes, I'm sorry. If I just take it how I just came and sat there and just roll with the punches, either she was gonna fuck with me or she wasn't. And I had to learn that the hard way. And I know that's the reason why we weren't together. Because at the end of the day, I was sitting there just bullshitting so much that shit. I mean, it never would have worked. Never did work. So yeah, being yourself is definitely one. Another person says no girl makes it hard for a guy she likes. That's definitely the truth, brother. That's definitely the truth, brother. Like one thing y'all will simply understand about these ladies, like if she's into you, she's into you. If she's not, she's not. And she will act funny. She won't talk to you as much. She do all kinds of things. When they into you, if you ever been to a girl, I know you've never been into a lady that you sit there and just be like, yeah, she can do. Like, I can do her, mess with her for a little bit, or we can be FWB, stuff like that. Um, or you met a girl like, yeah, I think she's hot. I think she's cute. Um, and yeah, I just like to sit there and just, even when she texts you, you text back a little faster. One girl, you'll sit there and text you sit there and probably would take a couple hours to respond to, right? Because you're not really stressing it. But then it's just that one girl who you sitting there just head over heels, you just want her so bad that I'm trying to tell you as soon as she texts you, you want to respond back. Instantly, you're sitting there looking at why she didn't respond back to you. Other girls who texting you, stuff like that, you don't even worry about what they're talking about. And it goes the same way for men and women. Like, if a woman really likes you, she will act that way with you, where it's just like everything, she all on you. All right? For real. And somebody else that didn't agree is like, in the chat, the moderator says, like, this is 100%. Girls with high interest in you don't ignore checks. Come up with excuses not to hang out to. They will text you and want to set up bait. That's the truth. So those ones that you sit there and kind of see like they acting all weird and stuff like that, or just like not being forward and as connected with you, you just need to leave them alone. For real, bro. That's straight. My man says nobody is busier than a woman who's not interested. I met a girl at the gym, sitting there talking to her and shit. And every time I hit her up, like she says she got this going on, or she can't do this and she can't do that. So I think it was like, what's the point of you even giving me your number, right? And don't ask that question. Just be like, all right, that's cool, that's cool. But at the end of the day, just let it be and let it fade in the background. Here's another one. But it says, I would say a lot of men are putting off getting into the dating game in their 30s because of education and confidence issues. I say getting into the game as quickly as possible. The good ones tend to go fast. Women who are willing to get married will get married quickly. They will. And yeah, you got to sit there and hop into that shit. You can't sit there and just sit there and just wait on the sidelines. Like, I remember being in the game. I was in the game recently. And it wasn't my team at the same time. Like, if I sit there and don't get into the game when it's time for me to get into the game, not even that, how about this? If I don't stand my ass up and go check in, then nobody else is going to sit there and people are going to sit there and take as much time as they want and not check in. So what I got to do is I got to get my ass up and go check myself into that game and tell whoever I want to take out come out. We're not going to argue back and forth over and over. And that's the same thing in any hoop situation, any sports situation, any life situation. Like, yo, you got to step up. Nobody's waiting this shit for you. That's just real shit. Let's go to another one here. Everybody's saying their dates saying the same thing. It's about ladies and stuff like that. So, which is cool. I just think that sometimes I get tired of sitting there talking about how the ladies exist. All right, like that's just like it's ladies is so simple that we overthink it. All right, we overthink the lady situation. It's just so simple. But let's go to somebody else. Mr. JJ says, don't offer solutions for their problems unless they specifically ask for you. Ask you to just emphasize with them. Yeah, because you'll be sitting there doing that shit over and 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 over. And the thing is, though, even though you give them some good advice, they're not gonna listen to you and just wasting your breath. You're just wasting your breath. Another one that I think for real, man, just to piggyback off that point is the fact is like Don't waste your breath with people who don't listen. If you're talking to a person all the time and they sitting there just saying, okay, yeah, 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 stuff like that, or they're not taking your advice, stop wasting your breath. They'll end up wondering, why you stop asking, why you stop putting things forward and try to talk to you about situations. But the more you sit there and keep talking to somebody about the same shit and keep giving them the same advice, they're never gonna listen. My man says, no relationship is worth sacrificing your goals, autonomy, or health. That's true. That's true. My man says one of the best decisions in life was not sacrificing my career to save my failed marriage. I will be completely screwed at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's tough with that, but I mean, it's tough with that. But the thing is, I think that we do this thing where I'm not gonna say mirror, where we sit there and have these thoughts, these ideas, and all these different avenues in our head about how life will be. And it's like in our heads we create this infinite timeline. And then also in your dreams, you honestly also in this time you sit there and will you will see yourself almost as you are infinitely, which doesn't make any sense, right? So while it's making you sit there and think these different scenarios, it's just making you waste time. Whenever you feel like you're at that point where it's like time to sit there and move forward in something, just do it. And I'm not one who sit there and I have sat there and screwed up with not doing that. Someone else says, this is just his comment, and I kind of agree with this. He's basically saying that women, or just people in general, they have varied taste and consider what they consider attractive. They're not all looking for Brad Pitt. Shoot your shot, even though if you're skinny. Their approval is absolutely not the secret to happiness. That's the truth, too, buddy. That's the truth, buddy. I think that's a lot of people's problems. They don't want to go and even take those shots. They so worried about how people sit there and feel like, you remember saying like tall, dark, and handsome? I'm thinking dark was mean dark skin. That should just mean just darker tone. It mean anything. Everybody, that's just one person's opinion. But everybody says that. So sit there and don't listen to everybody else's opinion and just do your thing. That's some good advice. Everybody likes their own. Everybody likes something different.